going to be exploring another Prashnayantra statement. So today's statement is, establish a breath cycle and do pace all actions and corrections so that the breath cycle remains absolutely undisturbed. So some thoughts and hints. When initially trying this approach, it is best to establish a breath cycle in terms of its region, duration, and volume that is conducive for that particular asana. For example, some difficult asanas may have a shorter duration breath and more natural to them. Hence, working in this mode also improves the skill of knowing the suitable breath cycle up front. So part of it is exploring that breath, and sometimes it's having that knowledge and wisdom already to know what the breath cycle might be. So I thought we would do maybe 4 postures, a seated twist, a standing pose, an inversion, and then maybe a deeper forward bend, and work with this statement. Okay. So let's just start with a gentle seated twist, more of an open twist. So we're establishing a breath cycle, pacing actions and corrections so that the breath cycle remains absolutely undisturbed. Okay. So let's inhale and exhale, bring the right hand behind, left hand to the outer right leg. Lift on the in-breath, exhale, turning. So begin to establish your breath cycle, making those gentle corrections so that your breath cycle remains undisturbed. See if you can do this for maybe 4 to 5 breaths. Think of the region where your breath is, the duration, and the volume of the breath. Slowly release. We'll repeat to the other side. Let's first change the cross of our shins. Inhale, and as you exhale, left hand behind, right hand to the outer left knee. Trying to keep crown of the head, spine, tailbone in line. As you gently turn, keeping the breath cycle undisturbed, so that the breath remains evenly paced. Feel the region of your breath, same duration of the breath, the same volume of breath. Slowly come back to the front. Just sit for a few breaths. From here we'll come up to standing. And you take 2 blocks behind that you might need for, we'll do Utthita Trikonasana, so extended triangle pose. If the bricks aren't high enough for you, you can use a chair for your hand. From Tadasana. Let's just step the feet apart today, so we will step. Turn the left foot in, cut that right leg out. Exhale, coming down into Utthita Trikonasana. And again, we're establishing that breath cycle. Making the corrections in your asana. Firm through the legs, strong through the arms, long through the spine. Staying 4 more breaths, kind of even duration, similar volume, pace. undisturbed breath. Can you keep it the same undisturbed level as the last asana? As you go from asana to asana, the breath remains undisturbed. So think about that as we slowly come up and to the other side. Inhale and slowly come up and turn in, heel toe in, stepping back to Tadasana. Next we'll come into Shirshasana, so those that can do headstand, either at the wall or away from the wall. We'll repeat those same actions. Those that aren't able to do, like aren't doing inversion, the headstand, Shirshasana, just come into an Uttanasana forward bend. You could, from our mountain pose, feet about hip width apart, come forward, hands coming down. So to your bricks or a chair. As you exhale, coming down, see if you can rest the top of your head on blocks. You might need more height, you might need less, or you might even need to rest your head on the chair, even crossing your forearms, resting your head on the chair. So just kind of getting that similar action of the crown of the head if you can, not using the chair with your forehead. For those going into headstand, setting up as you need. So establishing, making the corrections. Undisturbed breath cycle. The pace the same, the volume of your breath, duration. Slowly come down, we won't stay too long in each asana. Rest if you need, Adho Mukha Virasana for a few breaths. Then we'll come and set up for Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward bend. So I'm going to take a tri-folded blanket. I'll just show quickly with an option with the chair. For those that maybe are a little bit tighter, you might need, hips or back of the hamstrings. You might need more height, sitting up higher. Extending the legs to Dandasana. Exhale, coming forward. So an option would be a little more supported Paschimottanasana. And those that can extend further down with the bolster reaching the feet or a belt around the feet, elbows coming out. Elongate the anterior spinal muscles. Release the posterior muscles down from the upper back down. Lift the breastbone from the base up. Spread your collarbones. Press out through the big toe mound, inner heel. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale and slowly come up. And then just take a few moments to release down into Shavasana. Just coming back to that statement. The breath cycle remaining still and undisturbed. Which postures did you feel had maybe a shorter breath duration? Which ones had a longer? Where did you feel that breath? So we may come back to this one, and again, I had wanted to include a little deeper twist, and I missed that one. So we'll maybe explore a few other postures another day. Thank you for joining me.